Driving an EV, I think it suits car people because of the performance characteristics, but it also suits non-car people because you don't have those complications that people are used to with cars. You just sit down and you drive. It's simple. Me and my father used to build and rebuild and tinker with cars. He decided to do a conversion vehicle on a car in the first instance, and I helped him out with that. I realised that there was something in this, that the costs stood up, the performance was there, and it was intrinsically simple. And I've discovered that they're enjoyable to drive, they're cheap to run, they're reliable, they've got better safety performances, they are sustainable, and I believe that they're the future. I think it's a paradigm shift for people hopping in an EV, and a lot of people have seen videos of EVs, but because it's not a visceral experience, it's not noisy, you have to feel it to appreciate what it's like, and it's always the same. It's laughter, it's smiles, it's like, oh wow, I didn't realise that EVs were like this. So I drive a Tesla, and in my car, when you lift the hood, there's storage space, and when you pop the boot, there's storage space. There's nothing to see. You can fill up the washer fluid, that's about it. You don't have any maintenance requirements. You don't need to get a service to keep your warranty. My car's got an app and it's internet connected, so I just open the app if there's a problem, and I'll put in the details of what's wrong and book a service appointment. An electric vehicle has much less moving parts and much less to go wrong. Mine's a performance model, and it's a really sporty car. It's got a big range of speed, and the acceleration is supercar territory. It's under 3.5 seconds from 0 to 100. Once you start driving and you realise the reality of driving is easy, the cars can travel in excess of 300, 400 kilometres, which is a long time sitting down, and they charge quite quickly. Where we find that we drive past charges often. We're used to now plugging in when we get home, and that's basically it. The car's always ready to go. We just drive to where we want to go. We don't need to go to a fuel station. We don't need to worry about what the price of fuel will be. And when we travel on the highway, we just use the navigation in the car and we charge while we eat, basically. At the moment, there's fast charging infrastructure for highway travel, and then there's slower charging infrastructure that's more convenience-based around accommodation and shopping centres and things like that. The amount of cars on the road is accelerating very quickly at the moment. To respond to that, the infrastructure that is out there is also needing to accelerate. But for the volume of cars on the road, there's ample charging. My EV came with a wall charger, which I installed, and I have solar at home, so it's a great pairing. It gives me the capability to charge the car very quickly at home if I want to, but in reality, I never need to, because whether the car is charged in 4 hours or 12 hours is inconsequential when you put it in and go to sleep, and you don't have to wait for it to be 100% to drive anyway. I don't have a battery, so I have a lot of solar on my roof. I've got some smart interactions between my solar and my car, which ensures, given the amount of solar that I've got, it ensures that my car is only charging from solar. That's definitely not a requirement for driving an EV, it's something that I've chosen to do. You can just plug it into a power point if you want to, and we do that when we visit friends or we go away to somewhere that doesn't have charging infrastructure. But for the most part, we have our wall charger and we just plug it in and forget about it. So to install a wall charger at home is basically the same as any hardwired appliance, be it an air conditioner or lights. You just get an electrician to fix it up. It's not a complicated install. It's not unique for EVs, but say for my EV with a Tesla, the security is your phone basically, and you have authentication for that. So someone would need your phone, and then there's PIN security in the car that you can turn on to prevent it. And if someone were to take your car by taking your phone, you can remotely log them out as well and see the location of the vehicle. The biggest hurdle we have for EVs is the upfront cost required to put yourself into one. You have to really want to be in one because you have a higher point of entry. After that point of entry, the running costs are significantly lower, and you can, if you compare like vehicles, you can argue that an EV is the better long-term option, but the initial barrier is still there. I think the number of EVs will grow exponentially in Australia. We're at a real tipping point now where everyday people on the street are aware of EVs. They've got interest in them. They ask me questions when I park, that sort of thing. So we'll be seeing more and more people for their next vehicle will either be deferring a purchase until they can afford to go electric or making their next car electric.